So, as we all know, the Central Powers must expand their territories as quickly as possible before the Allied powers can muster the economic resources they need to take out the Central Powers and win the game. The Allies, for the most part, have the most basic template in all Axis and Allies games, especially with the United States getting involved soon. In Axis and Allies 1942, it's a matter of the US getting soldiers over to Europe. The case is the same here with 1914. 1914 is no exception. The United States joins the war on round 3, which means they have 2 rounds to prepare for it. And they're coming. This is a Central Powers strategy of going east. My last video, I gave a German strategy for the invasion of America. This video, we are going east. We are going to take out Russia. During the Great War in 1915, General Hindenburg decided that the war could not be won in the West. Actually, that the war can be won in the East. And most Axis and Allies players that are familiar with this game know that Russia is the easiest target. These 2 major powers, the 2 biggest factions on mainland Europe, both border Russia. So, working with the tournament rules, we are going to move east together. Starting with Austria's turn. We are going to purchase a plane to spot our artillery and give our artillery more punch. And we are purchasing 6 infantry. This is a total of 24 IPCs that I'm spending. We are saving 2 of our 26 IPCs. So, we are going to start off the game with a mandatory invasion, as the rules state. You must invade Serbia. I'm taking a small army and I'm invading Serbia. I am taking the army in Galicia and invading Ukraine. Ugh, that doesn't sound right rolling off the tongue right now. I am taking the army in Budapest, the massive army in Budapest. Typically, people take this army and invade Serbia with it. But we are going to invade the neutral country of Romania because many experienced Russian players like to activate this country. This country, it can be quite a pain in the ass if activated. So we're going to go on ahead and take it out. We are invading southern Russia. Italy does not join the war until 1915. So we essentially have a whole round to prepare for them. But we're going to go on ahead and set up our defensive measures right now. We're going to create a massive buffer zone right here in Tyrol to defend against Italy once they attack. And as for this massive army that we have in Vienna, just as big as this one, in all honesty, we are going to protect our northern flank. Galicia is one of the most strategic provinces on the front line. Galicia has access to both of Austria's 2 heaviest territories. And one of those territories, 6 IPCs, holds our capital, Vienna. So I already rolled for Serbia. Serbia got 2 hits. I've already done this battle right here. Ironically, the strategy ended up working really well because all Serbian units ended up being killed. And the Austrians only suffered 2 casualties. So, yeah. Moving on to Russia. First, I'm placing my troops, though. Placing my 6 troops in Vienna and my plane in Vienna. Russia. We are going to avenge our brothers in Ukraine. First off, we are going to close in on them from all sides and knock them out of Ukraine. We are going to move soldiers from Tatarstan into Romania to help them out and once again help defend our southern flank. We are going to definitely attack into Mesopotamia, contest that territory for the Ottomans, give the British time to move up, and when it comes to our non-combat move phase, we are going to move our soldiers into Poland to create a defensive line against the Germans should they attack. More than likely, this battle, the Austrians will be annihilated, but I'll roll for them in a little bit. Other soldiers, let's go on ahead and regroup them in Russia. I mean Moscow. The Russians have 25 IPCs. Facing all odds, it would not be smart to purchase anything else other than infantry, fast units. So, we buy 8 infantry, costing 24 IPCs, so 24 out of 25 IPCs has been spent. Moving on to the Germans' turn. Now, once again, the Germans are the bread and butter of every Central Powers strategy. If the Central Powers are going to focus on a single target, typically the Germans are the ones that deliver the meat, deliver the final blow. They are the wrecking ball that goes in either direction. So, Germany is going to purchase 5 transports. The reason why Germany is going to purchase 5 transports is because they are going to use the Baltic area to invade Russia from the north. Each transport costs 6 IPCs. 6 times 5 is 30. We have 5 IPCs we can save or spend on whatever we want. But first, we are going to take this massive army in Munich of 11 soldiers and invade Switzerland. If we invade Switzerland, we can get the French to overextend their front line. Now, we have a way into Burgundy. Also, we can give the Italians something to worry about by threatening them to the north. We are threatening them in the north with this massive army. We are definitely going to attack into Poland, invade Russia from there, and when it comes to the also declare unrestricted submarine warfare. If we declare unrestricted submarine warfare, any submarines in Sea Zone 2, 7, or 8, we can roll 1 die for every submarine that we have in those territories. And according to the tournament rules, it is not a 2, it is a 3. And for every 3 that we roll, the British or the United States lose 1 IPC. I would say target the United States more because the United States only has 20 IPCs. It may be one massive territory, don't get me wrong, but if you could take 4 IPCs away from the United States, you can really stall them coming over to Europe. So for our non-combat move phase, we will move our submarines toward the Atlantic. And on the British turn, or the United States turn, during their collect income phase, that is when we will roll the dice. So far we have 2 submarines. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. We are going to move our artillery and soldiers up, create a massive front line, let the French come into Belgium. And when the French come into Belgium, they will get 4 extra units, but their line of supply from Paris will be overextended. Typically, whenever Germany invades France, it's a matter of overextension. Well, this time the French are going to be trying to invade Germany. So they're going to be overextended in distance and in length along the front line. This is a massive front line here. And if we really, really need to, we could just send troops towards it. However, Hanover, move these troops from Hanover to support the Austrians in Galicia. Or you could just move them up to Silesia. They can't enter Poland just yet because Poland is just now a newly contested territory. So this was my way of getting them up as close to the action as possible, moving them from Hanover through Bohemia into Galicia using the railroad. We are going to move our navy into the Baltic Strait, and we are going to place down our purchased units. This is a total of 10 transports. We need to purchase as many transports as possible because on the next turn or next round, we're going to need to take out this Russian battleship, which should be no problem because we have 2 extra cruisers and a whole battleship to our own forces. Oh, by the way, send the plane. The plane must spot the artillery for the offensive. Now, France, England, the Ottoman Empire, Italy, and the United States do their turn. Austria is we're moving on to the next round. We're moving on to the next round. Austria can move its forces into Albania, engage the people in Albania, neutralize that country also, because the Italians typically like to activate this territory. We can keep up our offensives. Let's say that the Russians had completely annihilated this force of Austrians, all while suffering casualties themselves. We can take this massive stack of Austrian soldiers and we can move into Ukraine again. Russia is being hit very hard right now. We can move up our forces into Romania, so and so. Or if the Germans, let's just say the Germans need help. Let's just say the Germans need help. Let's move our forces into the contested battle zone that is Poland. It's really up to you where you want to move your forces. As for what does Austria purchase? They have 28 IPCs. What? No. 26. They spent 24. So they saved 2. They conquered Serbia. So that's plus 4. 26 plus 4. Bingo. They have 30 plus IPCs they could spend. They can buy 2 artillery pieces and the rest infantry. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's what they do. Russia continues to purchase nothing but infantry. Can use the contested region. They could move defensive troops into Poland and move defensive troops into Ukraine. And if they feel like launching any attacks in those contested territories, they are free to. Once again, they purchase more soldiers. Oh. They purchase 7 soldiers. If I'm doing the math correctly. Here it comes, round 2. The Germans load up 10 of their mini troops and they attack this Russian battleship. This Russian battleship stands no chance, but let's just be generous and say they hit the German battleship and it takes a hit. Now we have to roll for the mines. Roll for 1 transport. Roll for 2 transport. Roll for 3 transport. Oh, that's a hit. 4 transport. The 5th transport. Okay, so one of our transports got sunk, taking 2 of our soldiers with it. As for the cruiser, other cruiser, battleship. So, Russia basically rolled for sea mines regarding all of these ships. As for our invasion, we have 8 soldiers. So we're going to place 2 here, 2 here, and then 6 here. Bingo. We have just invaded Russia on several different territories. 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 6. Plus 3 from Poland, 3. So 3 plus 6 is 9. And then Ukraine also has 3, so that's 12. We're taking 12 IPCs from Russia. Russia only needs to lose 13 IPCs in order to go into economic collapse. Damn shame. We almost had them. If we can take 1 more Russian territory that is worth 3 IPCs, we can put Russia into political collapse by taking 15 IPCs from them. If we can just contest Moscow, we will be in the clear. This strategy is developed to put as much pressure on the Russians from multiple, along the whole front, basically. That's the whole point of this strategy. Kind of like France, we're trying to extend our front as much as possible to overwhelm them in their numerically inferior numbers. I'd say it's this is called the Baltic strategy. Call it whatever you want to, but I'm simply going to say, go east, young man. Thank you. That's all. Let me know what you guys think, really. And please correct me if I'm like wrong on anything. As for what the Germans purchase, like any other troops that we have in Berlin, we could simply just move up to the front line. Yeah. And as for our purchase, we saved 5 IPCs first round. So Germany collecting 35 IPCs during the income phase, they get 40. So that's more time to purchase artillery. Yeah, more artillery, probably another plane, definitely more infantry because Germany is a taxing nation. It needs to purchase units to keep up momentum. Thank you.